Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run our app. I'm going to run it as an iOS. So I'm going to hit npm run iOS. Once I click on this, what you should receive is your emulator should open up. You can see from my screen that there's a number of things that have been opened up. For example, what you should be able to see now is you should be able to see this um, QR code here. Now, this QR code, because we're now running Expo, if you download Expo Go on your mobile phone, you can scan this and you'll be able to run the app actually on your phone through Expo Go, and you'll be able to test it. You can also type in this address on your Google, and you should be able to also see the app as well. And then I'm just gonna show my emulator so that you'll be able to see exactly what my emulator looks like. So this is the iOS simulator that I'm using. I'm using an iPhone 16 Pro Max. But if you ever wanted to change the simulator that you're using, you can do this by actually entering capital I, and it allows you to actually choose. If you put your caps on and you hit the I, it should allow you to select what kind of emulator that you want to use. I'm just going to stick with the one I'm currently using. So what are we seeing on our screen right now? We are seeing welcome. Then it's telling us step 1, step 2, step 3. Now, step 1 is saying that we should edit some information in our index.tsx. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in our app. I'm going to see our tabs folder. So we have a layout, we have an explore, and then we have an index. Now, our layout file shows the tabs that we are using. So if you can see at the bottom here, we have home, we have explore as well. And then in our explore page actually shows that explore page. So if you click on the explore page, it shows us some things in here. So you have things that you may be confused. We have something called a collapsible, which allows you to collapse whatever information you want to see. Then we also have the index page, which actually shows us this information that we have. But what's so good about it is that Expo tells you to play around with what they're giving you. And then after you've played around with it, what you can do is, if you want to reset the project, you can type in npm run reset project to get a fresh app directory. This would mean that you start all over again and you're able to understand. That is exactly what we are going to do, because ideally we want to start afresh and we want to be able to build our project again. So what I'm going to do is, on my command line, right, I'm actually going to so on my command line, I'm actually going to do exactly what the step 3 is telling me to do, which is to get a fresh start. What I would suggest you do is, this button here would create another terminal for you, is split another terminal. And what I'm going to enter in there is exactly what it says on my screen: npm run reset project. And what that would do is it would move the existing files. It gives you the option to either delete them or move it. I'm going to move it so that later on, if we need to get some bit of information, we can use it over and over again. So in this case, I'm going to hit Y and I'm going to click enter. And what you will find is that what is done is, in my app folder now, you'll discover that I only have a layout and an index, which is what you want to have to get started. But that app that we used to have before, they've added a dash and an example. So that's something that you can always refer back to. So in this particular case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to restart the project again, because sometimes you have to restart again. What I'm going to do is, if you wanted to refresh your app, you click on device and you click on shake. If you are using a mobile phone, you can actually shake your phone and then you get this option to reload the entire application. Now, once you've done that, what you should discover is you now have a project that is different to what we had before. Because what we had before was them giving us an app example, but what they're giving now is to start from scratch. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a look through this app folder now to see exactly what we have now. What you also discover is our app in there, we no longer have things like components, constant, hooks, or scripts, because those were an example that was given us to play around with, to work around with. However, it is actually teaching us how to actually have an app structure. We will follow this through. It's just that for now, we just want the skin of, or the bare bones of, the application, so that we can go from step 1 to step 2 to step 3. Beautiful. So in our layout file, what you see is it gives us a stack. Now, I will explain what a stack is later on. For now, don't worry so much about it. We just need to be able to see that it's a stack, and we'll come back to it. That's our layout file. And then we have our index file. Now, if you've done HTML before, if you've done PHP, any type of programming before, you realize that the index page is usually the first page that is shown. Now, in our index.tsx, I know that in previous videos we have looked at JavaScript. We are going to do JavaScript, but by default, because Expo now wants you to write programs with TypeScript, if you wanted to, you can. For the purpose of this tutorial, I'm only going to use JavaScript. So what you will find is index.tsx. That is what is saved the file as. But later on, we will change it to index.js. And as we go on, we will still write JavaScript for our application. What you see here is we have imports. Now, it's quite important to understand that with every programming language, you always have to import some libraries if you wanted to use it. Python, you have to import libraries. Kotlin, Java, you have to import some libraries. Now, this is how you import libraries to use, or you import things to use. So this is what we're going to start off with. What I would advise you to do is, if this is the first time watching this video, please do try your best to go to the introduction to JavaScript to learn about JavaScript, as we'll be building our application using JavaScript. And I will see you in the next video.